Welcome back to the show. I am so excited to talk about something brand new that is happening at Baylor. It is the Baylor New Play Initiative. And here to kind of debut this whole wonderful event is Preston Kirk, who, this is your baby. This is something that you and your beautiful wife, Rhonda, blessed Baylor with.
We call it our legacy project.
It is a legacy project. And also Dr. Stan Denman is here with us, who teaches in the drama department at Baylor, and Carla Neuss, who is also in the Baylor drama department. So I'm going to be learning all about your wonderful work at Baylor University. But first, I want to talk to Preston because we met at a Baylor Lifelong Learning event a few months ago, and my co-anchor, Bruce Geetson, and I were the presenters for a thing on media, and you came up and introduced yourself and told me about this, and I said, well, I'm so thrilled to learn about your passion for Baylor and your desire to, again, bless the university with this brand new play initiative. So this is for playwrights, correct?
Yes, it's for both established and emerging playwrights. And it's our desire to broaden the number of plays in the American theater and to help develop the playwrights and, as we say, get it from the page to the stage.
All right. And you're pointing at Stan.
So Preston came, so I was chair of the theater department for about 18 years at Baylor. And at the end of that time, Preston walked into my office one day and basically said that he and his lovely wife, Rhonda, wanted to give a gift to the theater department to help us do something that would make a national impact. And he threw out a few ideas and I threw out a few questions and ideas. And then after several weeks, we got back together, and he had said that he and Rhonda don't have children. And he said, so we're thinking about what is our legacy going to be? And I said, well, you know what? Tennessee Williams didn't have children either. But we still talk about Blanche Dubois and Stanley Kowalski and all of these great characters that he created. And they've been active in theater for years. And so I said, what if we use your generous gift to help foster new plays? Because it is something exciting to be there at the birth of a new character when it's being read, it's being spoken into life for the first time. And so we began cooking up this idea, thinking that it's something that the national theater scene needs. It's something that the state of Texas needs. And then we began going around to professional theaters in the state of Texas, finding out that there was great interest in joining in this effort. So we're excited about it.
Well, you narrowed it down to 4 plays that we'll be talking about at length during the course of the show. But Carla, I want to visit with you. So your role in this Baylor New Play Initiative.
Yes. Well, I've been at Baylor as a theater history professor for just about 2 years, but my background from my days in Los Angeles and coming from California is in playwriting and directing. And after about my first year on the job here, I got wind of this playwriting festival, and my ears just perked right up. So I think I actually went to Stan and sort of begged to join the committee, and he very graciously, as a sort of freshman faculty member in the department, let me come on board. And just as the whole process was developing and all the logistics, Stan and the other committee members just really let me grow into that role, and we all collectively really wanted to find plays both from Texas playwrights, but also playwrights that are across the country that are trying to get their start. So we have a great balance of the plays we've selected after reading about 50, getting down to the 4 that we've selected.
Now, I was going to say, you probably had quite a few submissions.
We did. And at this stage, we had to consider submissions by invitation, because if you say, anyone send your play, you'll be drowning in them. But our hope is, as this festival will be an every other year event going forward, to keep expanding the number that we can consider. But it was a really, really cool process to sit and talk with people that have expertise in our department about all different types of theater and really whittle it down to these 4.
And so what people can come and see, I presume mostly readings, right? You're not actually going through staging and
They're just readings.
Okay.
Yeah. So the process of the festival will be each play has now been given a team of a professional director, professional actors, stage manager, and dramaturg. And they've been working with the playwright over the months to give feedback on the drafts. And what will happen is starting on the 21st of September, all of these folks will come to Waco in person, flying in from all over the country. And they'll each be given a space and lots of water and coffee, and just get to read through the play and hear it out loud, hear those characters come to life, as Stan was saying. And the end of that week will then culminate with these readings being read professionally on the full stage, lights and everything. And that's the opportunity audiences can come to see these plays. And the weekend will be peppered also with panels with the writers, with theater professionals that are coming from all over our collaborating theaters across the state, receptions. We have a Hellberg's barbecue lunch, and then it'll culminate on Sunday with an awards ceremony where the Kirk Prize of $15,000 will be awarded to the best play voted on by the panel of judges that we'll have there.
So, will there be any popular vote by the people coming to it?
Every play will be getting an audience survey.
Okay, good. Okay.
And so, because we want to get all the thoughts from our audience, and the playwrights really want to hear that as well.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to get a little bit deeper in the weeds with these various playwrights. But Preston, I really want to talk to you first. I want to hear your story because you grew up in the Waco area. The acting bug bit you when you were in high school, right? Or maybe earlier than that?
Maybe earlier than that. My mom took me aside and chastised me because in our small 1,100 square foot house in Belmead, I was imitating the laughter of her friends in the living room a little too loud. But I guess my stage debut was first grade as the mouse in The Night Before Christmas, and my twin sister portrayed the peppermint stick, and our costumes were made. And I knew what the spotlight was because I was so concerned about the tail that I carried it around on stage. And but I had great teachers at La Vega, the fabulous Mabel Legg, who taught English Lit and Macbeth in depth, and Bill Burke for drama. I won a UIL competition for soliloquy for the district, and my first play was The Hoosier Schoolmaster, and I played a kid that was bullied named Shocky. So by the time I was ready to graduate, I was sure I was going to become a drama major, and enrolled at Baylor and was in the department a little over 3 years. And I'd worked at Six Flags Over Texas for 2 summers as an entertainer. And it was suggested that maybe my place wasn't on the stage.
Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and tell that story because I think it's instructive for our 2 professors that are here as well.
Well, it was it probably was good advice that I...
Oh, you think so?
I think it may have been very good advice.
Okay.
I certainly wasn't ready to be on the stage at that time.
Right.
So I went back to testing, and they said that I could be a pediatrician or maybe a preacher or maybe a writer. And I'd been an excellent writer in high school. I'd won the drama, Spanish, and English medals and did the campus literary and the campus newspaper. So off I went, became a journalist for United.
So you totally pivoted your 3rd year at Baylor.
4th year.
Oh, yeah, you were a senior. So, but, I mean, did you feel like, this
Yes.
professor said, you're just wasting everybody's time? I mean, that's...
Well, no, I because what I learned through my career as a public relations consultant, as a journalist, acting is critical in everything you do.
Yeah.
And if you're unsure of yourself, assume the role that you can do it and do it.
Uh-huh.
And I found those places where you had to play to the spotlight sometimes, and telling the CEO of a $1 billion company, you can't say that, that's a lie. And it got me fired twice, but I have my integrity. But yes, why I'm often asked, why are you doing this for Baylor? And I owe so much, not just for my education, but I was working at the Baylor bookstore, 75 cents an hour, and watching a beautiful co-ed walking around the store, hoping she came to my register. And she did, and introduced herself and said, I'm dating a high school friend of yours who's in the Air Force now, and he said, you can help me maybe get a job at Six Flags. Well, Rhonda Massey was her name, and I said, would you mind riding in my mother's 1953 Dodge? We'll go to Arlington and apply. And when we came out of the interviews, it had snowed 4 or 5 inches.
Really?
It took 4.5 hours to drive back. And I was smitten.
And her boyfriend was history, right?
Well, it took a while.
Okay. But he eventually became history.
Yes, eventually. And he's a very good friend,
Yeah.
a wonderful friend. Dan Bounds, he and his wife had the McLennan County Pack of Hope. So, but Rhonda had a business degree. Eventually, she had a master's in finance. And she told me at the outset of our marriage, you don't know how to balance a checkbook. And I'm not signing that 1040 until I read it. And you did it all wrong. And I've never done either in 57 years of marriage. So she did our investing, and we're very fortunate that we can now be something I never thought we would be, and that is philanthropist.
Yes, yes. Well, it's a beautiful story, but what even makes it more beautiful is that 25 years ago, you're in the Hill Country, and you decide, what the heck, I'm going to get back into acting.
Yes, at a Christmas party, a woman approached us and said, I understand you're an actor. I said, no, I'm a public relations consultant. I haven't been on the stage in 31 years. Well, come over, we have a little ensemble play, The Affections of May, and it was fun. And I just began making my PR firm smaller and smaller, and that was 2000. And when we retired in July of 23, Rhonda and I each have more than 35 movie credits. She has 9 stage productions, every level of roles. I have about 37. We've been on 12 or 13 TV series, mostly background, and lots of commercials. She was the HEB Christmas lady about 5 years ago in one of their major commercials. So we've worked with the Clydesdales.
I was going to say, you have your SAG cards, I guess? I mean, you got all that.
Once again?
The Screen Actors Guild card, do you have your...
No, it was easier not to be that in Texas because of the cost. And we consider ourselves actors by avocation, which means that we weren't in it to make a living. We were in it for the experience.
Yeah.
And the experience was we got to work with great directors. John Lee Hancock, our first movie was Alamo.
Really?
Billy Bob Thornton came and lived in the house we were occupying for 6 months.
Is that right?
We moved out and he moved in, and Dale's worked with Sigourney Weaver. We did Bernie, one of the Richard Linklater movies.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite all-time movies is Bernie.
We're-
That's one I can watch over and over and still laugh hysterically.
We're in about 5 scenes.
Are you? I got to go back and watch it again now.
We would lunch with Shirley MacLaine, tell
Yeah.
jokes to Jack Black, and he would sing to us, "Beautiful Dreamer," and
Oh, my goodness.
great fun.
I do not know that. That's funny.
So lots of good times, and
Yeah.
of course we've eaten soggy pizza on a rainy set outside, and sat in the rain and done our roles, but it was a good experience. And Rhonda is just a whole different person as an actress or actor than she is as a private person, because she's very private.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's an amazing story. It's a wonderful story because you have been able to do what really was kind of a first love.
Yes.
and have a great deal of fun with it, and then create something really special at Baylor University. So I want to talk more with Dr. Denman and Dr. Neuss, and also yourself, as we kind of get a little more details about these upcoming plays and the playwrights, and a little bit more about your careers, which are stellar and amazing and wonderful. So you stay with us. There's more of the show ahead.
Finding a sleep sack that my baby likes has been a struggle.
The sleep sack from Joy is a major upgrade.
It is all natural eucalyptus, which is breathable and hypoallergenic.
Looking for a bakery that's as clever as it is delicious? At Fox & Co. Bakery, we specialize in decadent mini cakes, cookies worth writing home about, buttery pastries, gluten-free delights, and custom catering. Find us Saturdays at local markets, serving up style, flavor, and just a touch of foxy mischief. Can't wait till then? Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, or visit foxandcobakery.com to see what's fresh. Fox & Co. Bakery, we bake foxy things.
Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops made clean, made to clean.
And we are back with Preston Kirk, Dr. Carla Neuss, and Dr. Stan Denman from the Baylor University School of Drama. Am I calling it?
Department of Theater
Department
Arts.
of Theater Arts. I knew it had a very special name. But what's happening is brand new, and that's the Baylor New Play Initiative. That will be September 26th through the 28th at Baylor. And there's going to be the opportunity to see 4 brand new works, new plays, not fully staged, but readings. And then the winner is going to get $15,000 thanks to Preston Kirk and his beautiful wife, Rhonda, who have created this Baylor New Play Initiative.
Well, now, Ann, Baylor was kind enough to refer to it as our visionary leadership, but I can't say that it was, because we brought an idea that would have overwhelmed the theater arts department. It would have been impossible to do. And what Stan and the subsequent heads of the department working with us, we spent over 3 years studying playwright festivals. We underwrote the research for that, and we arrived at something that's manageable and also draws in collaborating theaters in Texas, of which we now have 13, I think, and a couple more coming aboard. And so we have an opportunity to take plays that are still in needing structure and needing help and getting them to something that's enjoyable and successful and possibly profitable.
That's awesome. I mean, the vision that you do have for it is wonderful. Stan, I want to talk a little bit with you about you came to Baylor in 1992. Is that correct? And I see, though, professionally, you performed, let's see, in The Traveling Lady.
Yeah.
Horton Foote. Yeah. Well, Horton Foote came to Baylor some years ago, and I had the privilege of interviewing him before the production of The Traveling Lady there. What a thrill. What an amazing honor it was for me.
It was great. It was great as an actor to have him sitting in the audience every night, rewriting a play that he had written 50 years before that. And I learned a lot about acting and a lot about playwriting watching this man who was, at that point, I think he was 85 or 86, and he was absolutely merciless with his own writing. He would sit out in the audience saying, "Cut that line." It
Yeah,
was
didn't
really
like that.
terrific. He didn't like that line, you know, and
Wow.
yeah, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, yeah. So that was something that Baylor was doing, the playwright conference. So
We had the Horton Foote American Play Festival,
Right.
and we did that for a number of years. But then when Horton passed away, we had a conversation with his family, and they decided that it seemed the right time to bring that to an end. It was a great experience for Baylor. The Traveling Lady, which began in our Maybe Theater on the Baylor campus, we took it to New York. We received a Drama Desk nomination for Outstanding Revival of a Play, which was terrific. But this effort is a little bit different. Because with Horton Foote, we were honoring someone who is very accomplished.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a number of honorees, Tina Howe, Romulus Linney, Craig Wright, who came to Waco. But we were dealing with people who had had a certain level of success. When Preston came to us, we began thinking about not doing the same thing again, but how do we make this different? And where is the need? Not only for our department, but for the theater community, and especially in this region. And there are lots of new play festivals that occur at individual theaters, but there's been nothing to sort of bring the entire state together. And so we are very lucky where Waco is located, right in the center of Texas. And so what we are hoping to do with this is foster new plays by existing and new playwrights, and sort of play matchmaker, letting everyone come together once every other year to the city of Waco, watch readings of 4, 5, 6 plays. It depends on how the festival grows. And then let them see those plays and decide whether or not they would like to take them back to their own cities and their own theaters and produce those. Because it's hard as a playwright to get your first professional production. Sometimes it's even harder to get the second, because no one wants to be the advertised, we are the second theater to do this. Everyone wants the world premiere. So one of the ideas that we have is helping to arrange and matchmake theaters with plays to do what we call rolling premieres, so that they decide from the very beginning that this theater in Fort Worth and this theater in Houston will go together to create what we call a rolling premiere of a new work. And that's a very special thing to happen for a playwright and for the play itself, for audiences.
Oh, that's fascinating. Dr. Neuss, as a professor now at Baylor, what brought you to Baylor? I mean, you did study in Oxford, England.
Yes.
Of course, you were in California. And just tell me about the path that brought you to us.
Yeah, I'm originally from California. I did my undergraduate degree there, and then had the amazing opportunity to get a master's degree at Oxford. And really, while I was there, while doing research on medieval theater, which is my research specialty, involved myself with the very vibrant British theater scene. And there's a real love in England for new playwriting, because they're carrying on the legacy of their number one celebrity, Shakespeare.
Yeah, that would be
who's to this day the most produced playwright annually in the U.S.
Yeah.
So it was a great 4-year period that I was there, and learned a lot about theater in an international context. And I think both as an artist and as a researcher, I've just been interested in how theater manifests in different places. So I've done theater projects in Africa. I've done theater projects in South America. When I came back to the States, I had some years in LA, and then subsequently I was in Connecticut at Yale doing a postdoctoral program. So when the opportunity for a job at Baylor came up, and I have to say, it's very challenging with a PhD in theater history with a specialty in medieval theater to find the right fit of an institution.
Well, and there's some biblical
Absolutely.
music involved too, right?
Yes, medieval theater is almost exclusively biblical storytelling.
Sure, right.
And
that kind of is a good fit.
Yeah, absolutely. And so they flew me out. There was a wonderful sort of 3-day get to know the department interview process, and I was just thrilled when they offered me the job. And it's they've given me every opportunity I could want as both a researcher, as a teacher, as a director. I'll be directing a play for the department in the spring. And this was the real opportunity for me to channel my own playwriting passion into something to help develop new writers.
Well, what a tremendous fit. What a great fit that is. Of course, there is a bit of a segue I could hear in that one of the plays has something to do with Shakespeare. Now, I'm not sure if that's the first one that people will be able to see or not.
No, that's the play I Will by Scott Carter, an
Okay.
LA-based writer. And that one will be on the afternoon of Saturday, the 27th.
2:30 in the afternoon.
That's right. And it's a really delightful, creative, very funny, but with some poignancy, sort of retelling and reimagining of how Shakespeare was inspired to write what's often called his problem plays, because they're not quite tragedies, but they're not quite comedies. They're kind of in between. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten to meet the playwright, Scott Carter, and he's very excited to be coming out and going through this process. But he's a meticulous researcher on all things Shakespeare, so he could take the facts and then creatively as a writer fill in the gaps. And when I sat down with him to talk about the play over the summer, he said, my goal with this play is to delight audiences. So I think it'll be a really delightful experience.
Well, that sounds like, he says, dramatically, hilariously, and fantastically, the bard gets his professional groove back by collaborating with a low-life brothel keep to invent a new form of drama, and finds personal peace of mind by discovering that balance is all, which is, good words to live by, really.
Absolutely.
That's fun. So that's a little bit in the middle. So let's back it up to the very first play that people will be able to hear, and that's at 7:30 in the evening on that Friday evening, and it's Under the Bridge. Who wants to talk about that? Do you want to talk about all these?
Yeah, I've been working closely with that playwright, Janelle Gray, and she's an amazing writer, also a recent PhD, and this play is about family and about legacy, and especially about the legacy of slavery in the South. So it's about a Black family that returns to the sort of ancestral town when their grandmother passes away, and their sort of childhood friends from the town are a white couple. The husband is the mayor, and it's about the family sort of finding peace within this time of loss. But then there's also these sort of hidden histories that start to emerge about land and the racial dynamics that connect people over decades going into the past. So it's a really personal and thoughtful play. I know Janelle is drawing on a lot of her own experience as a Black American coming from Texas, and we've assembled a really passionate team around her of folks with shared experience to help her tell that story.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you do have professionals that are working in on this. It's not, it would be a great opportunity for students, but man, what a great opportunity for students to learn.
Absolutely. And Stan can speak to this with our idea for the students and what they get out of it.
We do cast some of the students when it's age appropriate.
Sure.
We want to make sure that this is sort of a bridge from educational theater to professional theater. And the real experience and value it is for them is that they work as production assistants. They're sitting in on rehearsals, they're at networking events and things like that, so that they really get to, for once, know that there's a lot that they can learn by not being in the spotlight, but being next to the spotlight and listening and engaging in conversation. We think that that's so important because a lot of our students will leave here and they will go to the DFW area. They will go to Houston. They will want to be in cities where there's a lot of professional theater going on. So we hope that they make contacts there, that they learn from colleagues that they have all across the state.
Yeah, those connections are so important.
So important.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I met you at Baylor at the, okay, so that's Saturday, we talked about I Will, and then Saturday evening, here, kitty.
Yes. Stan, you want to try to take that one on?
You may have to help me with this one. So Here Kitty Kitty is a play that was really championed by one of our colleagues, Merritt Pope. As we were going through and deciding about the play, she gave this really impassioned case for Here Kitty Kitty, which we all found the dialogue really interesting and everything. But she happened to have a special sort of connection and vibe with this play. And so it's really the story of how three different groups are viewing, remembering, and dealing with a case of a woman whose first name was Kitty, and her sexual assault, attack, and murder that occurred. It's the case that was the foundation for the developing of the 911 system. And so it's different people through a podcast, through a dramatization of this story, and through a journalist who's delving into trying to tell this story. So you have these three different groups and communities who are grappling with what does it mean to retell a story, to communicate this idea, and when it is something that is that intense, what cost does it take on the people who are dealing with that? Mm-hmm. It's a very deep and provocative piece, and the dialogue is very interesting because one of the first opening scenes is a podcast.
Mm-hmm. And very interesting.
And Stan, as a former journalist, that's the Kitty Genovese case out of New York City.
That's right.
And that struck me. I had not yet gone to work for United Press International, but the woman was attacked as many people watched from their windows and did nothing. Yeah. And so that influences how that story is going to be told. Did I do anything? Did I shirk? And I'm really looking forward to that particular reading.
Yeah.
That has us then to the last, which will be on Sunday, September 28th at 10:30 in the morning, and Sons. So.
Yes, and I'm going to hand this over to Stan because he is absolutely, totally committed to this project. But I have to take a little credit because And Sons was a finalist for the Judith Reuner Award, which is another playwriting award run through the Association for Theater in Higher Education. And I was a judge for that, and I loved that play, but it didn't win that award. So I put it in our pile and just said, I love it, but we'll see if any of you connect with it, and Stan definitely did.
Yeah, and this is a young man that's the playwright.
He's 30. Jack is.
He looks pretty young.
Yeah, Jack is 30 years old, and he's he began in the theater as an actor. Yeah. And then, he lives in New Jersey and pounded the pavement in New York. He decided to go back and finish his bachelor's degree in English. But part of the time that he was pounding the pavement, all actors need their day job. He was a construction worker. And so And Sons is really the story of two sons whose father dies. And the play opens at his funeral. And their father, Bob, owned a construction company, and both boys worked in the construction company. And then an almost sort of surrogate son, Juan, is in the play as well. And so it's these three young men in their late 20s, early 30s, who are sort of figuring out what it means to be an adult, to be a man in today's world. And I think it's such a timely play because we're dealing with all kinds of questions about what I've seen on the social media is the manosphere, and what is toxic masculinity? Is there such a thing? What defines that? What defines being a man? What defines being a gentleman? All of those kinds of things. And this all takes place between these construction workers, normally during their lunch breaks, and how they sort of deal with very deep emotions such as grief, love, all of these different things. I find it an absolutely fascinating play, and Jack's a dream to work with.
Well, it is just brilliant that we're going to be able to have the opportunity to hear these plays, hear this new work that these very different playwrights have come up with, and then later to see where it goes.
Well, Anne, you make an excellent point talking about the differences in these plays, and I want to take a moment and pay homage to another Wacoan who passed away in July, and that was Robert Wilson. And he made his name in New York.
Yeah.
But here is a person who was an opera and a theater director. He was a playwright. He was an artist, an actor, an architect. And, of course, he's famous worldwide for the Watermill Center that he established on Long Island. And as I learned more about him, he said something that struck me. He said, "What interests me about theater is that it brings together all the arts: architecture, painting, light, poetry, dance, music, and philosophy. All the arts can be found in what we call theater."
Mm-hmm.
So just as Wilson thinks of live theater as all-inclusive, I think the definition should extend to the subject matter on the stage as well as the audience itself. And we want that inclusivity that seems to be being pushed back in our current era.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Well said. How can folks get more information about these different plays and the timing and so forth? And what is it? Is there a cost? Do you buy tickets to these events? Is that how this is working?
Yes, it's a ticketed event, and we have all of the information on our website. So all you need to do is just Google BNPI Baylor, and it'll be the first thing that comes up. And you can explore all about the plays and the ticketing. We have different ticket packages. So if folks are just interested in one or two of the plays, you can buy individual tickets to that for $15 each for a play for the reading. Mm-hmm. We also have the sort of all-inclusive package that includes all 4 readings, and that's $50 for all 4. And then
That's very reasonable. Oh my goodness.
And then we have the sort of even the let's say the platinum level package that we're really excited about for people that love the arts but want to be able to meet the actors and talk with the playwrights. And that package, which is detailed on our website, includes all of the readings, professional panels, and then a dinner at the Baylor Club on Friday night, followed by a drinks reception at Freight Bar. And then a Hellberg catered lunch on the Baylor campus on Saturday, and the awards luncheon, which will be hosted at Arts Center Waco.
Oh, awesome.
The package covers a lot.
Yeah. Oh, man. You talk about immersive. You really, to thoroughly enjoy what these days will bring, September 26th through the 28th. Again, no competition with a home game, I guess. So
we made sure of that.
Made very sure of that. The Baylor New Play Initiative. So BNPI is what you can look up. All right. So just one little diversion. So what are some of the other things that Baylor Theater is doing? I mean, I guess you can buy season tickets to the other plays?
Season tickets to all the productions that we have with our students. Right now, they are in rehearsals. My wife is in rehearsal every night. Lisa Denman is directing Little Women, the musical. I will tell you that I sat in on the callbacks. Phenomenal voices. Yeah. I mean, the singing for this is just out of this world. I would want to be in rehearsals every night just to hear some of these people sing every night. It's really terrific. And then we have a whole season of plays. People can go to the Baylor website, then find Theater Arts, and it will say our current season, and they can go and look at that, and they can buy season tickets or tickets to individual productions.
What amazes me, Ann, is when I attended Baylor, there was approximately 5,000 students. Mm-hmm. Now there's 20,000.
Yeah.
But people don't realize that the exclusivity of the theater arts department, only 125 students, and they have to audition to get there.
Yeah.
And you're going to see high quality performances from the get-go.
Oh, always, always. And as you say, stellar actors have come from the Baylor Drama Department. You want to just name a few?
I try Allison Tolman. She's on St. Dennis Med right now. We've got
the actress from The Office, Angela.
Yes, Angela Kinsey
Yeah.
is from Baylor. Derek Phillips, he's been on everything from Friday Night Lights to Longmire to it's hard to say all the,
I know.
series
There
that
have been
he's
quite
been
a-
on. So we
quite
have
a few.
a number of folks out there.
Yeah.
Elizabeth A. Davis, nominated for a Tony for Once the Musical. They just seem to go on and on.
Oh, it's got to just make your heart sing.
Our professional
see that.
actors that are coming in from what cities and how many?
We have professional actors and directors coming in from, we have them coming in from Los Angeles, Chicago, Denver, Miami, New York,
Yeah, and it's a total of about 40 artists that are all coming.
DC. They're coming in from all over the country. Yeah.
All thanks to the generosity of Preston and Rhonda Kirk. And it's just a delight for me to hear more about this wonderful brand new thing that's happening at Baylor. And of course, everything is in place for it to be a continuing.
Well, I want to not leave this thought, but I want to make this or emphasize this. A lot of my friends say, play reading, ho-hum, and they think it's going to be boring. And granted, there's no costumes, there's no scenery, there's little sound or effects, there's no orchestra. But it's the essence of storytelling.
Yeah.
And the core or heart of a stage production are the words that the playwright has captured and put on paper. And so I use the phrase with my friends, I say, Nessun Dorma. That is from Puccini's final opera, Turandot, and it means no one sleeps. Nessun Dorma. So that's the first thing I hit them with. They say, I don't know, the play reading, I said, Nessun Dorma.
Yeah,
no
there
one
you go.
sleeps.
Well, we should probably also say the reason that we do play readings is that we want to focus on the words of the play. How many times, I know I've been to Broadway productions and I've thought, this is a really dressed up, fancy, not so good play. But, it's essential to have play readings and focus on the play. And for all of our research that we did in Denver, out in Chicago, in California, people buy tickets to these play readings year after year after year because they become very interested in seeing, for example, The Whale, which was nominated for Best Picture, won the Best Actor Oscar. The film began at one of these play readings because it began as a play before it was a film. So who knows? You may come and see what may win the Academy Award 5 years from now.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what's exciting about this, the genesis of these stories. And to see where they go is going to be exciting.
And there's an economic reason for the Playwriting Festival to be here, not just in Central Texas and drawing attention to Waco. As Stan educated me as we went through the process, I'm thinking we're going to have a playwriting festival. No, he's thinking we're going to have a playwriting festival because it's in Texas and because the most royalties produced by theaters in America are out of Texas because we have so many civic and community theaters and educational theaters and professional theaters. And we hope that the agents for the publishing houses will come here, and as this is going to be a biennial event, and I hope with our underwriting to go for decades, we want Waco back on the map as a cultural center.
Oh, I think it's well on the way, at least from this seat right here, what I've been able to glean. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Neuss and Dr. Denman, I've heard your name for so many years. I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time. Lovely to meet you. Glad you are here. And Preston, you're a delight. You're also a poet. And I'm going to do a whole nother just show on poetry. You got to come back and read some of your poems.
I would love to do that.
Would you do that?
I would love to do that.
All right. Well, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to the Baylor New Play Initiative coming up on September 26th through the 28th. You stay with us. There's more of the show ahead.
At Mapiful, we believe in celebrating your journey. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mapiful.com and start celebrating your story today.
Natural Cycles identifies your fertile window by analyzing changes in your temperature. Just measure in the morning, add your temperature into the app, then learn which days you can and cannot get pregnant. It's that easy. Learn more at naturalcycles.com.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
The Levitt Amp Concert Series is bringing more live music to Bridge Street Plaza tonight, with community spotlights D-Truth, Siren, as well as acts from Suede and Kaza U. This outdoor event is all about good vibes and good music under the stars. The Green Communities Conference is also starting today with Keep Waco Beautiful. The 2025 conference theme, Rooted in Resilience, emphasizes strengthening our landscapes and ecosystems to support sustainable communities. Join hundreds of passionate Texans as we gather for the fourth consecutive year to cultivate meaningful conversations surrounding sustainability, resiliency, and community growth in Texas. Finally, Mission Waco and Urban Reap are teaching you about bugs in the garden today. Come learn from agronomist Mark Keeley on how to reduce pests in our gardens. They will talk about integrated pest management, share holistic approaches to keeping our gardens safe, and look at some examples from the Urban Reap greenhouse. I'm Elizabeth Riley with your Act Locally Waco News, and I will see you next time.
My name is Logan Allen. I'm a senior theater performance major with a concentration in musical theater. I have a minor in business administration. Super fun. Yeah, accounting's great. I didn't really know about theater or about like even just fine arts degrees really in general until senior year of high school. But when I did figure it out, I felt that push and that call, and I was like, okay.
Well, my name is Meredith Villarreal. I'm a senior, and I'm a BFA theater performance major with an emphasis in musical theater. I'm actually from Waco, Texas, so born and raised. My dad went to Baylor, and I will say it wasn't really on my radar at first because I didn't really know that Baylor had a good theater program. I went through a bunch of other auditions for a lot of other schools, but Baylor just kind of stuck with me. It was always in the back of my mind.
My name is Isabella Alcala. I am a freshman, so it's my first year. I've been here for like a month, but I'm loving it so far. I am getting my BFA in theater performance, and then I'm also pre-med track. So an interesting mix, but I'm really excited about it. And if the Lord wants me in acting, he'll get me there. I knew someone who came to Baylor, and I saw a couple of shows here, and the people, honestly, I know I said that before, but the people were awesome. And when you surround yourself with really good, really talented people, you're gonna get better. I start with theater aesthetics, which is like basically the basics of all theater that you will need to know ever, which it's so cool because in high school you do not get that experience.
But you also have more specialized classes where you can kind of choose like what you want to do. So we do have dance classes. So some days I take tap and some days I do ballet, and that's really fun. But we also have like stage combat where we go outside and we fight each other for fun. That's what we do, and it's super awesome.
It is exhausting mentally, emotionally, physically. You're there all the time usually, and so that building can kind of get draining sometimes, but it's also a place that we love, and so to have the dichotomy of that is kind of fun. You get what you put in, so the idea of if you are not working hard, if you are not finding these new ways to sort of grow, and that's one of I focus on growth a lot, but especially in theater and in life, I think if you are not purposefully making every day of like, okay, well, if I'm not in rehearsal, I'm gonna read a play, I'm gonna listen to these songs.
We have a really cool relationship with our faculty and staff, just because we kind of work under the assumption that hopefully we will work as colleagues outside of here. So our relationship is obviously professional, but it's also like very personal.
And I know that a lot of people are like, so what are you gonna do with that? Go to Broadway? And I'm like, I mean, that'd be really cool. That'd be nice. Yeah, that's kind of it. But like also, I have to be realistic in the fact that like I don't think I'm gonna graduate from here and just go straight on to Broadway. So it's like the growth in the things that I have to see where I'm trying to get to and what that takes. In the same way that if somebody's gonna be, in pre-med, staying in those libraries for 7 hours at a time, we are staying in that theater building 7 hours at a time. Daily, I am helping myself and making sure that I can mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of these things, bring my best for the day. And that's the biggest thing, is changing from perfection to bringing your best.
Theater is valid. It prepares you for so much more than you would ever think. Like, I can leave here and I have communication skills, I have critical thinking skills, I have problem solving skills, all because I'm a part of the theater program.
I think the biggest pieces of advice that I could give is to give yourself some grace and to work really, really hard for the things that you're passionate about. Because I know that there are a lot of people that are very perfectionist, very like have to do the things, have to know all the things right away. But college is a place where you have the ability to figure out where you want to go and what you want to do. And that is such a blessing. Do something that you're really passionate about.
With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
Our professionals are not only experts in managing urgent concerns, but also in providing top-notch preventative health care. We're proud to connect pet owners to a vast network of licensed veterinary professionals, ready to address any immediate concerns. Book your first appointment today.
VivoSun's mission is to empower growers with stylish and effective products, making indoor growing accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Visit vivosun.com today and get started making growing plants and vegetables easy and automatic.
My name is Lisa Denman. I've been here for a good long while, so I direct some of the shows that we produce. I teach the directing class. I also teach acting classes and improvisation classes.
My name is Stephen Pounders, and I'm a theater arts professor. I teach acting classes primarily and some voice and speech styled classes, and I direct a lot of the plays for the Baylor Theater. I've been here for 22 years, so I direct plays for the Baylor Theater here in Waco, but I also direct plays frequently in Austin, Fort Worth, and Dallas. I'm not alone. A lot of my colleagues will design for theaters regionally or around the country nationally. Occasionally we get to do work in New York. For our department, that our faculty are professionally engaged, because that's the first step in helping to make connections for our students.
My name is Maddie Monholland. I'm the current office manager for Baylor Theater, and I actually came through the program myself, so I'm an alumni of the program. I graduated 2015, and I was a performance major. We'd build the sets, we'd do the costumes, we'd do the lights. All of those things are really all hands on deck.
Productions that we put forward are co-curricular. We require our students to audition, and we expect to cast most of our performance students in those productions, or if they're design tech students, have them designing and working. And we have students, we have a range of students who are pursuing all kinds of degrees, but there's a real focus on students who study film, theater, music, and art.
We have shows that we purposefully keep pretty small, right? So that they're having to solve problems with a smaller budget, with a smaller production team. And in addition, we do great big shows, right? So we sort of vary the size of our shows and talk about them in terms of, well, this would be something like a smaller theater would do. And this is something that's more akin to a large regional theater or Broadway theater, right?
You're not sure if you want to do theater? Then don't. Because it takes a lot of passion, a lot of commitment.
Students who enter here saying things like, yeah, I don't really sing, and by the time they leave in their senior year, they're playing a lead in a musical, and they're going off to do musicals outside of here in professional theaters. Our classes are kept pretty small. Now, we do have some of our history, our literature classes where they might get a little bit bigger, but we're talking like 25, maybe 30 people. You don't want to be watching other people act. You want to be up on your feet acting. Or in the theater, we work under very strict deadlines. We have an opening night. The show's gonna open. It better be ready, right? And so everybody has to meet that hard deadline. And working together is really important. Coming together, celebrating together, doing all of those things, right? Being a part of each other's lives is really important to us here.
Being available to students outside of class time is a huge deal, I think, for all the professors at Baylor University. And we do that with office hours, but we also do that by just participating in the community that Baylor serves. And Baylor offers a lot of opportunities to do that.
Being in Baylor Theater really means also being a great theater artist, not just a theater performer or theater designer or practitioner, but you are an artist, and I think a big piece of that is also lifting each other up, championing your team.
We've had alums come and tell us that their theater major was the best preparation they could have had for a completely different field like business.
We have lots of students who go on to do theater. That is what they're going to do, right? They do something in the entertainment field. But we have also lawyers and doctors and people who go into other fields because they got the skills they needed.
A journey into new thoughts, new cultures, new adventures. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey with Babbel now. Go to babbel.com or download the app.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
A house is a property, but we live in homes. Home sweet home. Homes where the heart is. We aim to deliver the best home buying and selling experience so you can spend less time real estating and more time living.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
Tasmanian spring water range from Sand and Sky. This range is really good for dry and dehydrated skin like myself, packed with 2 types of hyaluronic acid, fermented sea kelp to reduce redness, and my skin feels so dewy and so hydrated.
Thanks for joining us today. Join me tomorrow when we have a visit with Nancy Goodnight, a legend in the athletic community in Central Texas, and also Jacob Lackey, who has all the details on the Christian Women's Job Corps Luncheon, their Baskets of Hope. You have a great day.